I'd always been fascinated with hospital shows like ER, Trauma, Life in the ER, Rescue 911. I guess because I would never become a doctor, or I never could become a doctor, I would just enjoy watching shows like that. I was reading a story about this girl who was in a coma, and I remember she talked about how she lived a different life, many different lives. She was like a camp counselor or a cheerleader. And I remember thinking that would be a pretty interesting movie. And I just had all these images in my brain. I remember of him waking up in his bed or waking up as a street bum. They also had to think of the hook and sort of a moral. Writing the script for Awaken was the biggest conundrum I'd ever had, because it was at one point the easiest and hardest script I've ever had to write. The original script, I believe, was about 20 pages or something, and there was even more to the story and everything. I knew I didn't want a clear and tangible message or answer to the film and everything, because when we get to the twist ending, it just throws a whole anchor at everything you believed in. And I wanted it to be very interpretive. Shows like The Twilight Zone, it doesn't give you all the answers. Everything that happens in the show, whether it was all in the character's imagination or none of it was real or all of it was real, it was up to you. And I always liked that stuff. And so that was the approach I took to writing the script. The twist at the end, it sort of revealed that you can interpret it in different ways, but Michael is standing over himself. So basically, it's kind of like I look at it as like a reap what you sow kind of thing. Bad things, you do bad things will happen to you. Part of what took so long to do it was the script. It took a long time to write. Originally, it was even more vague, but as the script continually kept changing and other interpretive elements had to be written out due to time or logistical reasons, I felt there needed to be something tangible for the audience to grab onto. And the twist actually never ended up being in any version of the script. It actually just kind of came up with something as I was making it, right before we started production. The first two lives, so to speak, were pretty much the same. But there was actually initially going to be a third life. A third scene where Michael wakes up in sort of like a messy bedroom, and he was going to be sort of a farm boy, and then there was going to be another scene where he was a medical student, and then that was going to reveal the whole twist ending, is that he goes to revive a patient, but the patient is actually Michael. So there were elements of the final version that bled over from the original versions. I spent a long time working on that, which has come to haunt me a bit because we never ended up making the final third life for many different reasons, mostly due to time. There were a lot more stuff involved with Michael's upbringing, or Michael's parents. We hear it mentioned a few times in the movie, like with his mother or his father. I get in a fight with my old man, or my mom would have a meltdown. But there was going to be a little bit more than that, and there was also going to be more connections made. Characters that led from one scene to the next. The cop character, or the face, was going to bleed over into another scene in the movie, and he was going to have a connection to Michael and everything, and that would have further cemented the idea that, hey, is this all real or is this not? And then there was also going to be a thing with his mother or stepmother, and then there was a little brother at one point in it. The stuff that was cut out because of logistics. We weren't able to properly cast the right people, or they just weren't available, and they just didn't fit in with our own scheduling, which is always a challenge with indie filmmaking. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this behind the scenes episode on Awaken. We've got more videos coming in the very near future, so be sure to stay tuned, subscribe, and hit the notifications button if you haven't already if you want to be informed of when the next video goes live. Be sure to check out the link to the playlist for the behind the scenes episodes. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.